What's going on, YouTube? It's Sensei, a place to be chilling, Mr. A&E. Back to give you guys another Raw review. This is the go-home show for Monday Night Raw. I did not do a Raw SmackDown review last week. I do apologize for that, but I just didn't watch it, and I really wasn't into it because I'm tired dealing with all this stuff that's been going on in the world. But I was like, you know what? We're gonna look at this thing a little bit differently, a little bit more positive, because we're gonna keep bringing content to you guys on YouTube, and I'm not gonna worry about too much what's going on in the world. We in the house right now, and we're gonna be safe and stay in the house. That's what we're gonna do. And I'm gonna give you guys the content. So it's WrestleMania week, okay? And I'm not, just because WrestleMania's not the way I want it to be, does not mean I don't give you guys WrestleMania week. So I'm going to give you guys the Raw review tonight. And tonight, I have to say, out of all the empty arena shows, this has probably been one of the best ones because of the promo work alone. Undertaker, Edge, Kevin Owens, and Paul Heyman are all promos you should go back and watch. If I could understand Japanese, then I would definitely go back and watch Asuka's. Tell you to go watch Asuka's promo, but it was intense, about the same, but I don't understand her language. so Raw starts off with the video package of AJ Styles, Undertaker in a boneyard. So with them in the boneyard, Undertaker comes up, and he's in that ABA, American Badass Undertaker, and he's talking about, he calls him Alan Jones, which is AJ Styles. So he says, that you was a big fish in a little pond, and you 10-15 years ago you said you would put the likes of me, but you couldn't hang with people like The Undertaker, Stone Cold, The Rock, Triple H, Kurt Angle, Mick Foley, Edge, Eddie Guerrero, Booker T. I was just like, well, he just naming them all. And then he said, but you wait till they was all gone. Then it's just me. And at first I was like, well, he's saying all that. Like, why didn't you say Brock Lesnar? Because AJ already lost to Brock. So that wouldn't make sense to say Brock Lesnar anyway. And then he says that he brought up Michelle McCool, and he brought her up saying that you're just mad because she did the Faith Breaker, which is known as the Styles Clash, and she got it over. And the funny thing is, I remember when Michelle McCool was doing the Faith Breaker, and I was like, man, that looks like the AJ. Well, actually, I was looking at Michelle McCool a little bit quicker than AJ Styles. I was like, that's what AJ Styles did with TNA type thing. But I was just like, but that they bring that to light and everything. So I was like, hey, that's cool. First of all, I like to finish him anyway, but that's neither here nor there. Then he says you challenge your boneyard. So he says, you know what? You bring your boys, Gallows, and Anderson. I got the Holy Trinity on my side. Who the Holy Trinity is, we don't necessarily know. But I'm telling you right now, it got me more excited for the matchup, because this is what you got to do. This is what WrestleMania is all about. Now, because honestly, look at it this way: if there was a crowd, I think we're just getting an Undertaker AJ Styles match 1-on-1, and I'm like, I don't know if I want to see that, but this boneyard structure, man, I think now it makes it entertaining, and with the promos, with them getting more real and jaw jacking, with work shoots and stuff like that, I think I'm kind of cool with it. So then, as Undertaker says, AJ Styles, rest in peace, you see a tombstone that says AJ Styles' name from his birth date to 2020, and we go off from there. So Becky Lynch comes in with her truck, and then her Stone Cold Becky Lynch truck, and she about to do a promo, and then but before she does that, we go and we get the match between her, Ronda Rousey, and Charlotte from last year's WrestleMania in its entirety. So usually, like I said, I don't watch matches when I do that, but when we come back, Shayna Baszler gives her the Caribou the clutch from behind, beats Becky Lynch down, and slams her head into the announce table, like, in that powerbomb swinging motion. She does that. So that's a good way for the build up to their matchup. Aleister Black beats Jason Cade, another jobber. Obviously, Aleister Black's going to be going up against Bobby Lashley, but we know that reports have come out that Lashley has been sick. He's been in quarantine. So I don't know if they record that match or not, or recorded it way back. I don't know how it's going to happen, but Bobby Lashley's not here for no belt. So obviously, I don't know that's going to go on. I'm curious to see how these tapings are going to go. To be honest with you, I'm really curious to see how they're going to go with all these different changes and stuff like that. So we gotta wait till Saturday and Sunday to see it. Later on tonight, it's going to be a 6-man tag team matchup between the Street Profits, Kevin Owens, versus Seth Rollins and the team of, it's supposed to be Andrade and Angel Garza, but Andrade is injured to a rib injury, so we can't have that. So it's going to be Austin Theory, and then that means Austin Theory is taking a part of Andrade, and they're going after the tag team championships at WrestleMania. And to me, I'm like, just drop the match. You don't have to have a match. And don't, look, there's spoilers about the SmackDown Tag Team Championship match that, to me, that was like, that is completely useless. I'm just sorry. That is completely useless. But I don't want to dwell on that too much, you know what I'm saying, because I'll talk about that when we do our predictions for WrestleMania and how I feel about that matchup and how it was just straight wasted. But honestly, they can't help with the circumstances that's going on. So we had a 6-man match. Kevin Owens jaw jacking up on the apron when there's no crowd to hear it. It's really good. The match is pretty good. I mean, decent 6-man tag team matchup. Montez Ford takes a nasty spill on the floor when Austin Theory sidesteps him. But Kevin Owens hits the stunner on Angel Garza, gets the win, and then Seth Rollins comes in and gives Kevin Owens the curb stomp after the match. But Kevin Owens is not done. He gets up, he's sitting in the ring, he's on the microphone, and he's talking to Seth Rollins, talking about how in this build, you know, the Performance Center, you wasn't really well liked. You was the problem that everybody had to deal with back when you was in NXT. And that he's going to have to deal with that problem at WrestleMania. But even Seth Rollins was saying that, look, Kevin, you can't beat me on my... I have more WrestleMania moments than you can count. And he does. And he says, Kevin, you can't beat me on my worst day. And WrestleMania is never my worst day. It's my best day. And I'm like, so it was a good promo between the both of them. Or, you know, actually, that was Seth Rollins said before the matchup. So, I'm actually a little bit ready for that matchup, too. Once again, it's disappointing that it's not taking place, obviously, in the crowded arena. But, you know, I mean, everybody's tired of, you know, hearing that part of it. Asuka is getting ready to take on... Who is her opponent that she's taking? Kaden Carter. Kaden Carter's there. It's a little bit like a really squash match, you know. And then she speaks in Japanese very intensely and gets on the announce table. Very entertaining and cuts a promo. Obviously, so we got the Kabuki Warriors against Nikki Cross and Alexa Bliss. The worst team to go. I'm still not a fan of the Nikki Cross Alexa Bliss tag team. I'm just not. So, but that's the team that they're going up against at WrestleMania. Don't know. I know Asuka is going into quarantine because she don't want to get sick, but I don't know if she did the match already. I'm not necessarily sure, but she's very entertaining here tonight on commentary. Then after, when it comes to Asuka, after Asuka, we go to this basement looking area, and it's Edge. She's about to cut a promo, and Edge cuts a very fantastic promo about Randy Orton about being a junkie, because she said, you're saying that Adam Copeland is a junkie for Edge. I probably a little bit of it, but that's how I feel. I come out and then I hear the music and the roar of the crowd, and if you're not a junkie in this business, you shouldn't even be here. You got over enough on your name, and you like just doing okay. But your okay is better than most. See, that's one thing about a good promo, where you can really kind of like stab at them, but you can also put them over at the same time. Because Randy Orton, everybody knows who knows Randy Orton, and Randy Orton is one of my favorite wrestlers. That Randy Orton is just like, look, if I'm feeling it, I'm going to put 1,000% in this joint. But if I'm not, I'm going to give you the bare minimum, and it's still going to be good because I'm that good. I'm Randy Orton. So that's what we got from that. But he says, you still don't have, the grit. See, the grit would have had me join Evolution and been their lackey. A grit was the one who played out his whole Hall of Fame career and thinking every day for 9 years of how to get back. and you the one who challenged you to the last man standing match, except the last man standing match, there's a man who has dove headfirst into a table full of fire and dumped Tex all arches by just to grab the torch. It was a great promo by Edge. It makes me even more excited for the last man standing match between him and Randy Orton at WrestleMania. And I think now with the empty arena aspect of that, I think those two can actually benefit from that, depending on how they tape it, how they record it, and stuff like that. So I'm curious to see how that match is going to go as well. We get a little video package of Rhea Ripley coming into the building. She is big boot by Charlotte, and that's the build to their matchup. That's all that happens there. Nothing really much. And Paul Heyman and Brock Lesnar out there at the end talking about how good Drew McIntyre is and how, you know, we had the best roster the industry has ever seen, and Drew McIntyre is special. But you know who else was special? The Rock, Hulk Hogan, John Cena. And just naming all these names and saying, and they all lost to Brock Lesnar. So, and then, you know, he told it's not a spoiler, it's a guarantee, and that he uses goddamn on on live TV, but they blink God out. But there's I forgot what else he said, and they blinked out too. But it was an intense promo. I recommend you go back and see it by Brock Lesnar. Still don't know why they're promoting Roman Reigns and Goldberg. Everybody knows Roman already came out on social media and said, yeah, I'm not doing that matchup. So kind of tone deaf. I guess they try to wait till SmackDown. I guess for the kids, you know. I guess they try to do it for the kids to try to make sure that Roman Reigns will still be there. He's not going to be there. So that was Raw. Raw gets a passing grade from me from the Go Home show because of the promo work alone. Like I said, it wasn't too much match stuff like that. I'm not really into the empty arena stuff like that, but I understand why it has to be the way it is. But that's just is how it's going to be for the foreseeable future. So I understand that, but right now it gets a passing grade from me. There will be a WrestleMania podcast later on in the week. That will be before Mania, and then we will review night 1 and night 2 of WrestleMania as well. So that should I can't wait for that. Post your comments down below. How do you guys feel about this Raw? And what was your favorite promo out the 4 promos? What was your favorite promo? Mine would have to go to Edge. Then I would give Undertaker, Kevin Owens, Paul, and then Paul Heyman, then Asuka. So that's how I would rank them. So rank them down below for you. Hit that like button if you guys enjoyed my review, and hit the subscribe button for more WWE content for WrestleMania week right here on Nerd Coalition. So once again, this is the NC place to be. Chill Train Mr. A&D, and Nerd Coalition is out.